so we need to go somewhere else where it's a little cooler. It's crazy. I mean, it's warmer here than it is in Arizona, but obviously we would like to get all the games in, but cannot control Mother Nature. Looks like the weather will be really nice down there, so we're excited to get a full weekend in.
How'd you guys spend Saturday and Sunday down there?
We did a little mental training on Saturday, did a little hitting in the cages. Sunday was pretty much just wait around, go to the mall, hang out with a lot of people, and wait for the plane. So, we tried to make the most of it. We used Sunday as an off day, so we were able to do a little bit of work on Monday, which worked out okay. But the boys are ready to get back on the field.
Without being able to get that full first series in, are the guys treating Oregon State and Utah kind of the same way as Riverside?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's not ideal to miss those games. We didn't have an opportunity to get some pitchers out there that we'd like to, get a few position players in there and get them some at-bats. But that's what the hand you're dealt, and you just deal with it. We did have some pitchers throw live a little bit yesterday just so they can get back on the dirt and feel what that's like. So we're just going to roll into it and play baseball.
What about for you? Is that a bit of a buzzkill? Going into the opening weekend, excited to see your team, and you only got to do it for one day?
I don't worry about things I can't control. You can drive yourself crazy thinking about the what ifs, and it would have been great. Great setting. Angels were so great to us, and they tried like heck to get that field ready, and just couldn't get it done. But again, it's too bad we didn't get to finish the series and see how it ended up, and tying Riverside 1-1, and not really much bragging rights either way. It's maybe next year when we open up with them again.
You guys went with Loonsman for 3 innings. I mean, he hadn't really had that kind of a workload before. I mean, is the idea that you want him to potentially be a multi-inning save guy, or what was kind of the thinking behind that?
Maximize our best players, and we have him built up to be a starter, pitch count wise. So we can use him in the starter role. We could use him in the middle of the game. We could use him as a closer. It just depends. We wanted to make sure that we had him build up to be able to handle whatever comes his way. And I guess we'll just, we would have had a better idea after seeing a few more guys on the mound over last weekend, but it didn't work out that way. So, he'll stay in that closer type of role for now and have him available for more than one day on this 4-game set.
So the potential for a different role for him, I mean, is that there? Or, I mean, what are you guys going to see with him?
The best way I can put it is we're going to maximize Chad. He's our best pitcher. He's got some of the biggest outs for us, and we're going to find a position to use him efficiently, effectively, and maximize what he can bring to the table.
Is that ideally what you would want for all your pitchers to be able to play any role?
Oh, I don't think so. It depends on, some guys have, maybe 2 pitches where they're better suited for a bullpen type role. Some guys hold runners better than others, which makes them better starters, where they can 3-pitch mix. Their set times are a little bit better. For starters, you really need that. There's just all kinds of things that go into it as far as do they keep their stuff, for multiple innings in a row. It's one thing to go one time through a lineup and then to go a second time and then to have the stuff to get through a third time in a lineup. It's tough to be a starter. So we try and put guys in position to succeed, and you just kind of mix and match it.
2 Pac-12 teams this weekend in Oregon State and Utah. What are your thoughts on the 2 programs?
Yeah, It's awesome. I mean, those are the kind of teams we're going to have to beat if we want to go where we want to go. Obviously, quality programs, and we played in this tournament, I think, 4 years ago with the same teams. We also played Washington in that series, but great baseball. It's a great opportunity for us.
You Burkhammer back out there this weekend. What did you have to see from him to slot him into that starter spot?
Well, we were going to get him in there on Sunday. That was the plan, to throw an inning or two. He had a real good session this week. He's by no means built up to a normal start, but we want to keep him on the same routine that he's used to. So we'll start him, and we'll piggyback him with somebody else as well, and just kind of play from there.
You put a pitch count on a guy like that at this point?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, to say a number, it's somewhere in the 50 range. Again, we'll see what the stress pitches are like. He might throw 35 and have a bunch of runners on base and, have a heavier mix of off-speed stuff, and that obviously changes things. So he feels good. We're comfortable with it, but we're going to be smart as well.
What improvement do you hope to see out of him this year? He had a really good year last year, and I'm sure that you're expecting him to improve even more this year.
Just continually to consistently pound the zone. He had a couple of hiccups in there where he walked a few too many guys. Stuff-wise, I don't think his stuff was as sharp as it had been in the past. Now, that's a credit to him that he got outs with that stuff. But, his velocity wasn't quite where it had been in previous years. But he did pitch well. And, this year we'd like to see him get to where his stuff can be and be a little more efficient in the strike zone. He's always done a pretty good job executing his breaking ball when he needs to. Changeup was hit or miss last year, but when he's on with all 3 pitches, he can be very tough. So just kind of limit the free passes and just continue to keep his stuff. He's put the work in. I mean, he's in position to succeed, and now we just got to build his pitch count up smartly.
Notice Hohensie was slated to be the starter on Sunday. Is he back? Have we figured out kind of discipline-wise what you're gonna do with him?
Well, it's a 5-game suspension, and I mean, you miss 2 games to rain. You do the math, and does not good till Sunday. So, we have Jake built up to be a starter. He's another swing guy that can start or go out of the pen. We'll just, for him right now, early on, coming off of Tommy John last season, 1 time a week is just like Nate Fisher, the same type of thing. Jake's probably built up more pitch count wise than Fisher is. So we'll see how he handles it on Sunday.
What's he throwing right now? Speed-wise.
Fastball, changeup, and a breaking ball. We'll see what comes out of his hand. It's coming out nice. He's throwing strikes, mixing his pitches. As far as what his stuff is, we'll see.
You got a number of younger guys in the games that you did play. Hagee and Tillotson and Roscom. How do they kind of handle things? And first time out and speed of the game type stuff.
Apparently Hagee didn't have any problem with it.
Right.
He was doing just fine. But I thought Tillotson came out real well and threw strikes. He had a few clean innings there. His off-speed stuff wasn't super sharp, but he's it was good to see him handle those emotions early on. Roscom, I think, was moving 1,000,000 miles an hour, but that's great. He got his swings off. I thought he was aggressive. That was good. So it's just again, we didn't get everybody in there we wanted to, but you'll see some more new faces tomorrow, and we'll hopefully get some other guys in there throughout the weekend.
Was Hagee, was his performance a surprise at all, or he kind of been doing that in the fall as well?
He's pretty much been doing that since he got here. It's one of those guys. He's fighting for his dear life to try and make the roster, find a travel spot, and all he's done is go out and just continue to perform, and that's why we do an open competition. That's why we keep an open mind. Guys like Ben Klenke, Brady Childs, Moj, they all step up, and that's what this is all about.
How about Brady Childs this past weekend? How big is that for your squad, for him to step up in that role?
Yeah, when you get your 8-9 hole hitter on that much in a game, it's great. We always knew he was a catch and throw guy, very solid defensively, great arm. He's worked really hard on his hitting, and he really stuck to what he wanted to do, his plan, and he was rewarded for it. And that's something that you can have 2 catchers that you're going to get production from. They're going to push each other. And the thing I really like about those 2 is they really, you see them talking to each other. They feed off each other. They're helping each other. And when you have 2 guys understanding that and helping each other, it can be very valuable in the long run.
So you're going to be surprised. You're going to see Alex and hang out with the Royals a little bit this weekend?
Well, I hope so. We're on one of the back Kansas City fields tomorrow for early stuff. So hopefully we can at least yell at them over on the big league fields, and we'll be on the little minor league fields down there practicing. But it's always great to see Alex and the whole Royals organization. They've been awesome to us. Got to play down at Kaufman last year. So just a lot of great quality people. Very similar to the Angels organization. Very family oriented, and it's just we're excited to be with them.
You going to give Alex any pointers on how to play center field?
Well, apparently, looking at him, I don't want to say anything to him. As large as he is, goodness sakes, the guy. He obviously put some work in. Didn't get to see much of him this year, this winter. He was down in Kansas City most of the time, but he can play anywhere, and I'm just excited to get to see him.
Maybe early, but do you, with 2 rainouts already, do you look at a midweek game or anything like that coming up? At least that you have it earlier in the season this year.
Well, we're looking. It's for finding magic dates that are 2 teams are open, and not just filling a game. You got to be very careful. We've got to make sure that we're doing something that's going to be productive towards our RPI. Sure. We've put a few games where we win and it goes the wrong direction. Right. So that balance of finding out, is it better to play or not play? But we are definitely, without a doubt, looking at teams that possibly lose some games and trying to find those times that we can maybe match up.
Did you, when you came back after 2 games, did you have a long list of, oh no, we need to get to this, or everything was like pretty well, you touched base?
We threw strikes. We played very solid defense. Again, I always say those are our staples. There are things you can clean up, sure. Offensively, I thought the at-bats got better as time went on, and that's normal at the start of the year. You're going to have a little bit of the guys trying to do too much. We didn't miss any signs. It was being outside for a couple days and scrimmaging a couple times. We were able to iron out a few of those things before the first game. And it was just really the first day. You just deal with the emotion and the anxiety and the excitement and all that stuff of the first day. And the tough day is the second day when all that wears off and you have to play. Well, we haven't got to do that yet, so we're kind of like we're restarting again, I guess you could say. But yeah, our guys will be ready to go.